You've heard it a million times, right? The world is getting older, and usually it's talked about like it's some kind of crisis waiting to happen. But what if that whole way of thinking is just wrong? Today, we're diving into a really cool new report from the McKinsey Health Institute and the FII Institute that flips that idea on its head. It argues that our aging world isn't a challenge to be managed, but a huge economic opportunity just waiting to be seized. So let's get into it.
First things first, we need to get a handle on the sheer scale of this demographic shift. I mean, this isn't some slow, gradual change. It's a genuine, planet-wide transformation.
So get ready for this number. By 2050, the number of people on Earth over the age of 65 is set to double. We're talking 1.6 billion people. That's billion, with a B. A number that big is going to fundamentally rewrite the rules for our economies, our societies, for pretty much everything.
Which brings us right to the heart of the matter. Is this a crisis on the horizon, or is it maybe a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity hiding in plain sight?
Now, the conventional story, the one we always hear, points to some pretty serious headaches. You see them here, healthcare costs going through the roof, fewer people working, and a ton of pressure on things like pensions and Social Security. And that last point, the support ratio, think about it. Soon, there will only be 4 working-age people for every single older adult. That puts a massive strain on the whole system.
But here's the twist. This is where it gets really interesting. A recent report from the IMF found something huge. Older adults today just aren't the same as they were a generation ago. They're healthier, they're stronger, their minds are sharper. So people aren't just living longer lives, they're living more capable lives for longer. And that, well, that changes everything.
And that brings us to the core idea of the report, what they call the longevity payoff. So let's pivot away from the problem and dig into the powerful economic argument for investing in health.
The key concept here is healthy longevity. It's such a simple but powerful idea. It's not just about adding more years to our life, but adding more life to our years. The whole point is to extend our health span. That's the time we spend in good health, so we can live better and contribute more.
So the big question is, does this kind of investment actually pay off? And the report's answer is a massive, unambiguous yes. They found that spending on healthy longevity isn't a cost. It's actually one of the best investments a society can possibly make. I mean, look at this. We're talking about getting back $2, $4, even $6 for every single dollar you put in.
And what's really amazing is that you see these incredible returns across all kinds of different economies. In Brazil, you get back $2.30. In the United States, it's $4.60. And in Saudi Arabia, a whopping $6 for every dollar. This proves it's not some phenomenon that only works in wealthy countries. This is a truly global playbook.
And then you find some specific interventions where the return is just off the charts. You have to see this. In the US, programs that simply match older adults with volunteer opportunities, they have an estimated return on investment of 24.3 times. No, that's not a typo. 24 times. It just shows the unbelievable power of smart, targeted programs.
Okay, these numbers are fantastic, but what does this actually look like on the ground? Let's take a look at some real-world proven ideas from all over the globe that are already getting these kinds of results.
This table gives you a fantastic snapshot. I mean, the report looked at over 50 different scenarios, but just look at these 3. Simple aging-in-place modifications, like grab bars to prevent falls, give you a more than 6 times return in China. Training next-gen health workers has an incredible 8 times ROI there. It really shows that different solutions have different impacts in different places. There's no one-size-fits-all answer.
And the best part is, these aren't just theories. There are amazing programs already up and running, making a real difference. Come on, let's take a quick world tour of what's working right now.
First stop, Japan, a country that's really on the front lines of this whole demographic shift. Their Silver Human Resource Centers are just brilliant. They connect seniors with jobs, keeping them active, engaged, and making sure all their incredible experience doesn't go to waste.
Then you hop over to Zimbabwe and you see something totally different, but just as powerful, the Friendship Bench. It's an amazing low-cost way to tackle mental health using trained community members to offer support right there on a local park bench. It's accessible, it's effective, and it's brilliant.
And in the Netherlands, you've got the Hogewijk Dementia Village. They've completely reimagined what memory care can be. It's a safe, supportive community that feels like a normal town, where dignity and autonomy are the top priorities. It's a game changer.
Okay, so we've got the economic case, we've got the proof that it works, we've got real-world examples, so the big question is, how do we actually do this? How do we take all this knowledge and turn it into widespread action?
Well, the good news is the report lays out a really clear 4-step path. You start by finding the right partners in a community. Then you move into planning and designing the right approach. Then you pilot a few things, see what really works on the ground. And finally, you take the winners and you scale them up.
But here's the absolute key. No single group can do this alone. It has to be a coordinated effort. The public sector has to step up, creating smart policies and making this a national priority. And at the same time, the private sector needs to innovate with new products and services and, crucially, create workplaces that are inclusive for all ages. And you know who plays the vital role of the glue holding it all together? The social sector. Nonprofits and foundations are absolutely essential. They're the ones who can really raise awareness, change how we think about aging, and build the networks to get everyone working together.
And this quote from the report just says it all. It's about alignment. It's about getting the public, private, and social sectors all pulling in the same direction. When you do that, the so-called challenges of an aging world, they really do transform into a global opportunity.
So, if you remember just one thing today, let it be this. The money we spend to help people live longer, healthier lives isn't a cost. It's not a drain on resources. It's a powerful economic investment in our shared future wealth.
The data couldn't be clearer, and the path forward is laid out. So the only real question left is the one we all have to answer together. As our world gets older, what kind of future are we going to choose to invest in?